Living Word Kids, it's Miss Anna, and thank you for joining me for another month of Living Word Kids Online. Today we are going to talk about character. You might say, wow, that's a pretty big word. What exactly does character mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Character is how you act or how you behave. The thing about character is that it can be good or it can be bad. So let's say your mom asks you to take out the trash, but you're watching your favorite TV show. So you just get mad and you tell her,
"Not now, I'll do it later."
Whoa, that was some bad character. In Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 through 23, God shows us what kind of godly character He wants us to use. God's character is made up of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. That means when you talk to your parents, those words should be full of love and peace. When you're at school and your teacher makes you mad, you should be able to control your temper and not act or say anything you shouldn't. God doesn't want our personality or behavior to be unbalanced. In the Bible, the perfect example of good character is a man named Daniel. Daniel worked for a king named Darius. And while working for the king, Daniel proved himself more capable than all the other officers. Because of Daniel's great ability and character, the king made plans to place Daniel over the entire empire. The other officials became jealous of Daniel and tried to find something that Daniel was doing so that they could get him in trouble with the king. Daniel chapter 6 and verse 4 says that Daniel was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. Did you see that? Daniel was operating in the fruits of the Spirit that makes up our godly character. In Daniel chapter 6, the word tells us that other officers came up with a sneaky plan that would get Daniel in trouble. They tricked the king into making a law that anyone who prayed to any other than the king could be thrown into the den of lions.
What? That's crazy!
But they convinced the king and he signed it into law. And Daniel was so faithful to God that even when he heard about the new law, he still went home and he knelt down as usual in his upstairs room with the windows wide open, and he prayed 3 times a day just as he had always done, giving thanks to God. When we talk to God daily and we read His Word, it builds our relationship with Him. God is the only way to bring balance and consistency to our character. Now you can see here we have a little sailboat, and sailboats have something that run along the bottom called a keel. The keel keeps the boat balanced so that it doesn't lean too much to one side and just tip over. We're going to see that God's character is like a keel on a sailboat. It keeps us stable so that we don't drown. When we stay in God's Word, we will be able to control what we say and how we act much easier. God is always there to help make our lives and character more consistent. Daniel knew how to have godly character by seeking God every single day. Later in Daniel 6, it tells us that Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. The king spent all night fasting and he couldn't sleep. Very early the next morning, the king got up and he hurried to the lion's den to check on Daniel. To his amazement, Daniel was still alive. God had sent an angel to him to shut the mouths of the lions, and he saved Daniel. God protected Daniel because he had great godly character. Daniel thought that it was important to put God first. Pray to God daily, be honest, say good things, be faithful, and always responsible. God kept Daniel's boat afloat even when danger tried to come to him. If we all grow in God's Word and we live it, God will always protect you. Guys, we'll see you next month for another month of Living Word Kids Online. Bye!